Well, hello, hyperspace. My name is Davontos, and it's time to get hyped because this is some epic Sombra gameplay, and there are a lot of big changes that happened on the Overwatch PTR, and these changes will probably make it onto the public servers because they actually seem pretty necessary, especially since Doomfist is there. So, we're going to start off with these changes that actually want to apply to current Overwatch heroes alongside Doomfist, but we'll get to Doomfist later. The current Overwatch hero, first off, we're going to start off with McCree. So, the big change that happened to McCree is his flashbang now stops targets in their place. So you guys know when a Reinhardt's charging at you and you flash him, yeah, he'll get stunned and he'll stop, but he'll kind of slide for a little bit. That will no longer happen with McCree. The instant they are flashed, they will just stop right in place, allowing you to follow up with a fan to hammer or a quick headshot. Following up next, we got Reaper. This is huge. Reaper's teleportation, or shadow step as it's called, it's now much quieter, which means you can actually teleport without making so much noise, and then, you know, when he teleports he has that fiery wind sound effect. That's also been lowered down, so you won't really hear the fire that much, and you won't really hear Reaper saying his repositioning thing so loud. Kind of like how Sombra used to be. When Sombra first came out, she would teleport, and when she comes back into view, she'd be like, "I hear him!" and she was so loud. Well, they had to lower that, and I see they did the same thing with Reaper. So Reaper is going to be more of a stealthy ambush kind of character as he was intended to be. Next up is Reinhardt. Now this is huge with Reinhardt. He now swings his hammer 10% faster. Now that doesn't seem like much, but if you think about Hanzo, the recent Hanzo buff made him charge his arrow 10% faster, and now you see Hanzo's all over the place. So give this same 10% buff to Reinhardt's swing rate, and you're gonna see Reinhardt that he is going to be insanely dangerous, and he'll probably be present a little more often. Another thing about Reinhardt, so on a Doomfist video I was covering Doomfist abilities and so on, I said that Doomfist's Rocket Punch will overpower Reinhardt's charge, which means if Doomfist goes flying with his Rocket Punch and Reinhardt comes charging with his charge, and they collide, Doomfist will actually knock Reinhardt back and win the collision. That's not going to happen anymore. What's going to happen now is if a Reinhardt and a Doomfist collide with their charge abilities, it's going to function as if a Reinhardt crashed into a Reinhardt. They will both get knocked down, which seems pretty fair to balance because Doomfist, at the rate he was going before, he seemed like an unstoppable force, so it's good to know that now McCree can stop him in his place and Reinhardt can give him a run for his money. And also, the biggest change is with Zarya. So, Zarya's Graviton Surge will actually trap targets in their place, and there is no way they can escape. They say it's going to work very similar to Junkrat's Bear Trap, his little trap thing. So that means if you get stuck in Zarya's Graviton Surge, Tracer can no longer blink out of it. If it's working similar to Junkrat's Trap, that means Reaper can no longer Ray Form out of it. And I'm not too sure about Orisa because Zarya's Graviton Surge is kind of like a crowd control, and Orisa's Fortify basically counters crowd control abilities, so I'm not too sure if Orisa can walk out of it, because technically she cannot fortify herself and walk out of Junkrat's Trap when it's triggered. But if they're saying it's going to work similar to the Junkrat's Trap, you know, and Zarya's Graviton Surge, then that means she won't be able to walk out of that as well, so it's going to be kind of interesting to test out who can and cannot escape. I'm guessing Reaper can probably escape if he goes through Wraith mode, even though they say it's similar to the trap, but I still feel like Wraith mode cannot be, you know, stopped in that sort of way. So I'm hoping that Reaper can still escape the Graviton Surge if he goes into Wraith mode. I'm really hoping Orisa can still get out if she fortifies, and I'm pretty sure Sombra can still get out of it if she just, you know, throws her teleporter and then teleports out of there. So these are just some minor changes, well, not really minor, these are some big changes that hit the Overwatch PTR for some of the heroes that we all know, and take all of this with a grain of salt. There might be some changes by the time they hit the public servers, because again, it's on the PTR, and they do make some changes before it goes on live. Right, so the last thing I want to talk about is Doomfist. Now, I'm not too sure the distance on his charge when he would do his Rocket Punch, but I think when he first came out, he would fly forward like 50 meters, I think it was, and then they nerfed it down to 30 meters because Doomfist was literally flying all over the place. And now, when you actually watch Doomfist gameplay, you see he is very, very buggy, and Blizzard has went on record and said they are going to fix this, which is probably why we didn't get Doomfist this week. However, I'm pretty sure we're going to get him next week, because I believe the same thing happened with Ana. I'm not too sure. I think Ana stood on the PTR for a week or two. If that's the case, Doomfist has already completed his first week, which means next week we might get Doomfist. And on top of that, July is already halfway over, and most Overwatch events will happen at the end of one month and continue on to the end of the second. Almost the end of July, which means we're going to get Doomfist very, very soon. Probably next week. So, what do you guys think about all these Overwatch changes, and how is this going to affect your main heroes? You know, if you're a Reinhardt main, a McCree main, or a Zarya main, is this going to affect your playstyle? I feel like Zarya's Graviton Surge is going to be insanely dangerous now, especially since there is no way you can escape it, unless you're probably like Orisa or those heroes that I mentioned. Hopefully, if they can. And if you're a Reinhardt main, and you get nano boosted, you're going to be dangerous, because a nano boosted Reinhardt's already scary, flailing his hammer around, but now picture that, but swinging around 10% faster. Doesn't seem like much, but again, keep that Hanzo in mind. And it'll give you an idea on how dangerous Reinhardt will be. Also, all of Doomfist's taunts, emotes, victory poses, skins, and all this stuff was released on the PTR. I don't have access to the PTR, so I can't show you guys. However, when Doomfist is released to the public servers, I'll be glad to show all of Doomfist's goodies. I'll leave you guys with the rest of the gameplay. It's almost over. I have no idea what's happening here. And if you like this video, punch that like button with a mighty force. You can follow me up on Twitter at DavontosMan. And as always, I'll see all of you in the next video. Have a nice day.